So I've been seeing a lot of people commenting on how chilling Paul Dano's Riddler is, and I'm going to break down why he is such a terrifying character. First, let's talk about the Riddler's outfit. Now I know this has been dissected to bits, but it is one reason as to why he's so terrifying. I mean, the clothes make the man, right? So this version of Riddler is not rich, which is quite apparent, and due to his circumstances, he is forced to be creative and make one himself, which is exactly what he does, from the cheap green trench coat to the homemade mask, fitted with the now iconic white clear glasses he wears on top of it. Now, considering the Riddler, or more so Edward Nygma, is usually seen wearing glasses with black ridges, an example being seen in the TV show Gotham, the sudden change is most likely a nod to Jim Carrey's Riddler, who had been seen wearing these same particular glasses in Batman Forever, which I think is a very clever tribute, if that is true. This version of the Riddler started out as an orphan named Edward Nashton, who used to look up to and respect the Wayne family back when Thomas Wayne helped to support the orphanage in which he used to live in. He was always a sort of outcast for enjoying things like riddles and puzzles throughout his youth. Riddler didn't have anything growing up. No parents, no family, no friends, no money, no home, nothing. He grew up to hate the elite and superior classes, considering he was always at the bottom of their list of donations. After the passing of Thomas Wayne, the only one who had been supporting the orphanage was gone. The orphanage then fell into a chaotic state of disarray, controlled by crime lords and criminal gangs. And through this, the Riddler grew. He slowly picked up the pieces and built himself a nice little ego. He was done with the Wayne family, and even more done with the elites. He was going to be the one to show the people of Gotham the truth, by unmasking everyone who he felt had wronged him, by exposing all the corruption and scandalous businesses that had been built deep in the shadows of Gotham. This was Riddler's way of cleansing Gotham as a whole. The Riddler despises Bruce Wayne because the way Riddler sees it, after Bruce's parents had died, it was all about Bruce and how he was a poor and sad little orphan. Meanwhile, Riddler had been an orphan his whole life with nothing to his name and hardly anything at all, just barely scraping by, yet no one seemed to care.
If it was me dying on the sidewalk, you'd walk right over me. I pass you every day and you don't notice me. But these guys, what, because Thomas Wayne cried about them on TV?
You have a problem with Thomas Wayne, too.
Yes, I do.
And yet, Riddler is obsessed with Batman. Granted, he never finds out that Batman is Bruce Wayne, but there is a connection between them nonetheless. Even Joker saw it in this now deleted scene.
You two have so much in common. Masked Avengers. So he's even more righteous. Oh, you afraid he makes you look soft?
But I won't get into that now, as it's not that relevant as to what I'm trying to say. Now, because of this background information, the Riddler starts sending out letters directed at Batman and even one to Bruce Wayne himself, followed by a series of riddles and puzzles he must solve. He's doing this as a way to get attention from Batman, but also as a way to seek justice, the justice he never saw. Now this scene is quite an important one when dissecting this version of Riddler as a whole. The final reveal. Batman, after cracking the codes and the hidden puzzles, after seeing hundreds of people die, finally gets to see the man behind it all. And as a great man once said, reality is often disappointing. And that's the reality we're faced with, because hiding under all that tar and tape is not a scary monster or beast at all, but simply an average man, no different from you or me. Someone who could easily pass for anyone and you wouldn't suspect a thing. Most villains are built to play the part, but this version of Riddler could play any part at once and still not be questioned. Riddler knew that the Batman would catch up to him eventually. In fact, he wanted him to. It was his whole plan, to be caught. He outed himself before Batman even got the chance to, just so Riddler could finally see the face of his idol right in front of him. Another key detail is the unapparent name change from Edward Nygma to Edward Nashton, subtle yet perfectly suiting and expressing that this character is just an average guy with an average name, who lurks in the shadows, waiting for his time to shine.
I want to be the star of the show!
This scene right here is probably the most significant of them all, the interrogation between the Batman and the Riddler. He finally gets to see his hero up close, thinking he would be proud of him like a father was proud of his son. In Riddler's eyes, him and the Batman were working together to unmask the criminals of Gotham, but all he gets in return are harsh remarks and backlashes from his one true hero, being told he's a pathetic psychopath. Now this shatters Riddler and his ego he's so carefully built for himself. The Riddler is a perfectionist and an obsessive, compulsive man. And what does he do in response to this criticism? He decides to make a scene.
No! This is not how this was supposed to go. I had it all planned out. We were gonna be safe here. We could watch the whole thing together.
Watch what?
Everything!
To throw a temper tantrum when things don't go the way he wanted them to. A classic Riddler move. The last we see of Riddler, he is incarcerated in a cell next to the Joker, crying at his failures. His whole life has been shattered into pieces right before his eyes, everything he worked up to gone. Joker takes notice of his whimpers, and now because of this deleted scene, we now know that the Batman has spoken to the Joker earlier about Riddler, giving the Joker a preset image into the Riddler's mind. And now with that knowledge, and the Riddler being at his weakest, the Joker takes this opportunity to manipulate him by saying,
"Riddle me this. The less of them you have, the more one is worth." A friend.
Now there are two alternative interpretations as to what comes next. In one scenario, this could be a multi-choice question. Riddler answers with a friend, but it could just as easily been something like money, love, or success. That's why Joker laughs at his answer, not because he was right, but because he finds it funny that a friend is what he chose out of every possible answer. And in the other scenario, the Riddler's answer is a friend. He looks up and sees he's already made one. And though we don't get a proper introduction, simply upon seeing his grin, makes it pretty clear to assume that the new friend in question is the Joker himself, which then imply a future team-up between the Joker and the Riddler. In conclusion, all the things I've listed are all reasons as to why I think Paul Dano's Riddler is so terrifying. He's scary not because he's a scary somebody, but because he's an average nobody, because he has so much depth to him and so many layers to piece together. He's always known exactly what he was going to do. This was just him finally allowing himself to do it.